All righty, folks, believe it or not, it's Thursday night at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. It is time for Hunting the Rut. Folks, you got some questions. We're going to have some answers, and I know what you're thinking. That old chair over there is still empty, and it's a fact. It is. Big Steve is still out and about doing some stuff, doing some good stuff, and you'll be able to know all about it here shortly. And we're glad you're with us tonight. It is already the middle of July. Can you believe that? Now, folks, it's serious. 4th of July happens, then all of a sudden it's deer season. And so we're halfway through the calendar year. We've been talking about what bucks are doing. The whole purpose of this show is Hunting the Rut Hotline, to talk about what bucks are doing where you live and what they're doing today and what they're going to be doing as season comes in. And so we've been doing that all year, all over North America, and we're going to continue that tonight. So stay tuned, and when we get back, we're going to kick this boy off.
Introducing Scent Defense, a revolutionary 3-in-1 formula from Top Secret. Infused with antimicrobial silver copper synergy technology to attack odor before it starts. Fortified with NeuroX to attack and repel insects instantly. Scent Defense is specifically formulated to attract deer while simultaneously destroying odor. Scent Defense, the 3-in-1 formula for success.
All right, folks, we're back. It is Thursday night, and folks, look, we're going to remind you about some stuff. You probably already heard about it. You're certainly going to be reading about it, and the magazine's coming forward. We've got a couple of states that has decided, after years and years of research, that which many of them ignore, is that in the state of Virginia, in the state of Vermont, they have outlawed the legal use of deer urine, natural deer urine. Now, let me kind of give you just a quick synopsis of that, and I want you to follow what the law says and follow the logic in it. Virginia law says you are perfectly legal to sell deer urine in the state of Virginia. So that means you can go to your local dealer where you've always bought your deer scent, whichever brand you do, and they can legally sell it to you. You can legally take out money, buy it, put it in your back pocket, and carry it out the door. But if you use it, you're breaking the law. Now, I want you to think about the logic behind that. But that's kind of where America is right now. It's a knee-jerking reaction to something that's been going on for years. Most people do not understand. In the states, they do understand. It's just a segment of it that's just ignoring the facts. To begin with, all scent companies who collect urine in America, this is a 40, 50-year-old industry. All scent companies, certainly all of your major scent companies, of which Top Secret is certainly part of, all herds are monitored by veterinarians and are tested to be CWD free. So what that means is all the herds, the urine that is collected is free. The herds are certified. They have to be monitored. And most companies, they will separate the herds in 2-3 different locations, just should there be one in this, that it doesn't affect the others. I've been doing this nearly 30 years. I know of no incident in 30 years where that's been the case. So, having said that, that's kind of where you are in Virginia and where you are in Vermont, and we certainly hate that for you guys, but fear not. We are prepared, and we are shipping into both states Top Secret synthetic urines. That formulation is as close to the natural as you possibly can get, and it is also, just like Top Secret is oxygen-free from collection to the bottle, this is, because of the components, it is also under that protection of oxygen-free from formulation to the bottle. So you're going to treat this the same way you would Top Secret. You can't miss it when you go in the store. It's our same packaging, but it has synthetic and purple across it, synthetic across the label, and it has a purple bar on the bottom that says synthetic clearly on it. You will be able to have that in all of our products. You'll be able to have it in estrus, buck, doe. It'll be in the 3-ounce bottles. It'll have the retail. You also will be able, and you'll have that in tarsal as well, and the 3-ounce hot sauce bottles, same bottle that we use, and you'll also be able to get it in your favorite 8-ounce foam, estrus, buck, doe, which will get you early pre, peak, and post rut, including your tarsal, to be able to make those mock scrapes and to really activate those primary scrapes and make it a boy mad. So Virginia and Vermont, fear not, you're taken care of. You'll be able to ask your local dealer if for some reason they have not got that they can get that through their distributor they're using, or they can call us at Top Secret, and we certainly can get them, and you'll be able to get that also, Tom, on our website for the synthetics to be able to get that. So, fear not, we've taken care of that. Look, it is already July the 16th, I believe it is today. Season's clicking along. People are already beginning to, I'm seeing tractors go up and down the road. What that means, they're getting ready to bush hog. They got dozers out there. A lot of people think that's farmers, that's hunters. 14 million deer hunters, they're getting ready for season to come up this fall. So a lot of activity getting ready to go. Now the whole purpose of our show each week is to be able to talk about what these deer have been doing. You know, they didn't go to Mars when season ended last year. They still live on the piece of property. If you didn't kill them, they still live there, and they're still going about their life. Season ended, pressure ended, and all of those bucks and those does got back into their routine. All safety is in routine, and that's for humans or if it's for animals, but certainly for whitetail. Whitetail are very, very habitual animals. They like doing the same thing all the time until pressure makes them change it. But once they do it, then they like to get back, and once that pressure is gone or removed, then they like to get back in their routine. So they've been in a routine now for 6 months. Season comes along, they will have been in a routine for 9 months. And so this show is about what they've been doing, where you live. And there are variances to it, and yes, there are nuances to it in there, Chris. So you knew I was going to say that. So that's important. And so as you hear these questions, and what's interesting about this show, notice some of the questions as we get closer to season, how they, like a funnel, they start getting focused on asking certain questions. And that's very good, because we're talking about pre-peak and post-rut, and bucks right now in bachelor groups are running around together and been doing that since January, February. And so we're going to start off tonight's show by I think we got a caller coming in. We're going to take a quick question there, but we're going to take a caller. Do we do it, or we go to? Yeah, we got us a caller. All right, folks. All righty, you got Don Bell. Who we got?
Don, this is Kim from St. Joe, Missouri.
St. Joe, Missouri. Now, Kim, just so happens, we do a bunch of seminars, and we're going to be within, I believe we're going to be, you know where Rogers, they're in Rogers Sporting Goods, and they're about an hour from you. And we're going to show you up here in just a little bit the seminar schedule. But we're coming up there to do a seminar near you. In fact,
awesome.
Yep, so you'll see it posted on the show. Man, we'd love to have you. That's a live seminar. And what we do in that show, that seminar, Kim, is that, I don't know if you can see by any chance, can you see the screen?
What I'm seeing
Is a map.
I see you on there talking.
Okay, all right. Well, you'll be able to see a map. This is, we're live, but because it's Ustream, it'll lag just a second, but you'll be able to see a map. That map represents August, and but we'll post it, and then it'll show you where we'll be in your states coming up. But I actually start traveling next. The first seminar is next. Shelby, it's next Thursday, isn't it? No, Thursday week. No, next Friday. Next Friday I'll be in Pennsylvania, and but we get around all over the place. Well, look, we're glad to have you call in tonight. It's the first time you called in?
No, I was able to get in a few weeks back.
Well, good. What kind of question you got for us tonight?
Well, this fall I'm going to be hunting a spot, thanks to a friend, that I will unfortunately not get to do any preseason scouting.
Okay.
So aside from the checking for the normal sign, what can I do to improve my horrible odds that I'm staring down?
Well, have you ever been on the piece of property, or when you go hunt it, would it be the first time you're on the piece of property?
When we go go hunt, it will be the first time I get to see the property.
Do you have any kind of aerial view of it? You can go on Google, you can Google it, and you can see the topography of it. It's amazing.
That's a possibility.
Yeah,
That's a possibility. I'll
Yeah,
have to talk to my contact and see.
yeah.
his address.
Well, you can. Yeah, you get his address. You can Google it. I sold a house not too long ago, and later somebody was showing me something, and they said, "Yeah." I said, "I've been by your house." "What do you mean, been by my house?" They did a Google drive-by, a virtual drive-by, and you could drive up in my driveway and turn up in front of the house. That's the craziest thing in the world. So yeah, you can Google it, but you know, 90% of success in hunting any animal is obviously knowing the animal, but then knowing topography. And so, you know, great advantage is to know that piece of property. Now, having said that, you have the ability to Google it, and you can see the topography, and you can start seeing. Well, first of all, how much property is it?
That I'm not sure.
Well, if you find out, you know, how much property it is, and do you know if it's been hunted much?
No, it does not get hunted much.
Are you bow hunting or gun hunting?
We will be gun hunting.
Okay, so you're going to go in there, November? Where you now? You're up in Missouri, so you're going to go up in November. So really, not very little, if no pressure on it during archery season.
Correct.
All right. Well, a couple things is going to happen with that. First of all, if there's no pressure on the property, and there's archery, you know, hunters hunting around it, chances are they are, then what that's going to do with any buck with pressure, they're going to retreat back into where there is no pressure. Common sense says that.
Sure.
So, and that's a good thing because they're going to put them in there near you. Now, are you going in? What part of November are you going in? During the first part of the peak of the rut there?
It'll be the 15th of November.
Okay, well,
excuse me, the 14th.
Okay,
14th.
Typically you're up in Missouri there, the Midwest. Typically 7th to the 15th is the peak of the rut there. Certainly the first 2 weeks, but so you'll be going in at a good time. Historically, and that's all that is historically, I would say that you're going in on the back end of the peak of the rut. But that's okay too. Are you hunting food plots? Are you hunting tree stands? How are you hunting?
We will be on the ground, and there's going to be plenty of farm
fields.
Crop fields around.
Yeah, so not so much that you're planting fields to come to, but it is crop fields. We were in Steve and I. We were up in Illinois last year about the 7th to the 15th, and oddly enough, there was still standing corn everywhere. There was some cut corn, but just not a lot. In Missouri, are they planting much corn, or are they soybean?
I don't know what the rotation is this year.
I mean, either one of those are good things. In fact, I don't know if you've ever hunted a cotton field, but
no.
A cut-over cotton field in the southeast is crazy. The deer go in and they'll actually, of course, I don't know if you've ever picked cotton, but you got to be real careful picking the cotton because the bowl that it's sitting in, it's sticky. But they'll actually take it and pick it up and chew the seed out of it, and just you see there, it looks like the mouse foaming, but it's just cotton. And then what they're doing is they're getting the seed out of it.
I see.
But you're going in on the tail end, so you're going to still have plenty of activity. On the tail end or the beginning of the peak of the rut is a good time to rattle. And not so much during the peak because there's plenty of does running anywhere, and rattling is an infringement. But gruntings, you certainly want to grunt. Are you hunting ground blinds, or are you just hunting on the ground?
We're probably just going to be winging it on the ground.
Okay. Well, you want to obviously get to where, and I'm assuming that it's a hardwood. I'm not. Don't let me assume. Check your topography. Find out if it's hardwood, or if there's creeks coming through it. All that's going to tell you is where they're coming out into fields, and so they're going to follow those natural lines. deer bucks really like, Kim, they really like transitions, between a clear cut and a timber line. Any of that between a field and a timber line, they like to walk that. They're gonna have scrapes along that or just inside of that. But if you got standing corn, a gentleman called last week, if you got standing corn still, they'll bed in the corn. I mean, they'll eat, sleep in that corn. Because they got all the protection in the world. Hear anything coming, they got plenty of escape, and they'll go out into the woods to get water. But if they cut that corn, then they got to all come back into the timber. But you can get your topography map of it or aerial view, and then when you get there, you can kind of look and kind of see the lay of the land. And look, if you get that, what you can do to us, Shelby, what you can do, you can call Shelby and the young lady you just talked to, and then if you can, Tom, can we do this? If Kim sends us a photograph of it, then we can actually, Kim, throw your map up on the screen and we can talk about it. And then I can talk about, here's the way you look at a topo. This is the way you look at this, and here's what you want to be looking for. And then so we can specifically talk about your piece of property, but at the same time show other people how you can do that. So you can go to Google Map and do it, do a virtual drive-through. You can go all the way around the property. Of course, you can zoom back out and see if there's fields around it, if it's just houses around it. Is it in the country or is it in the, is it rural?
Yeah, it's out in the country. In fact, it's not very far from a Missouri conservation area.
Okay. All right. Well, man, you got a lot of opportunities there, and more hunters are realizing that you don't have to have a lot of property to kill big deer. Big deer go where they're not bothered. And there's a lot of big deer coming outside of cities and inside of cities all over the country, because those deer are coming and living in and amongst us, and they're used to all the noise and stuff, and they're just laying down in between, little wood lots, quarter acre, 2 acre wood lots, and it's crazy. But that's what pressure is doing, and they're learning to adapt a certain amount of that stuff. But let us know. Let us know what happens. But look, go get you a Google map and do that. Send it to us. Call Shelby. You can scan it or email it to us, or give us I guess we can do that, Shelby. You can just actually tell us where it's at, and then we can Google it and show you.
That sounds fabulous.
Yeah, we can do that. Any other questions you might have?
Not right at the moment, no.
Well, listen, we appreciate you calling in, and tell all the guys about it. Everybody you talk to, let them know the show's every Thursday night. And as we go, we're talking generalities here, but we can get real specific and show people how to do that. Now, once you know the piece of property, that's one thing. But nothing replaces, Kim, understanding ears, eyes, nose. Ears, eyes, nose, because all topography does is the lay of the land is going to show you which way he's coming and going. You still got his defenses that you've got to deal with him, and he's going to come and go based off of the wind and come and go based off the pressure. And he'll even move. Some of the questions that comes up to us, why do deer move differently just before season, or certainly after season opens versus all year long? Why did they change movement? Well, that's not complicated. Pressure makes them change that. If you're going to Walmart and all of a sudden they're working on the street and there's a detour, you don't question it, you go around. Or if you come up and there's cars everywhere and a wreck, you back up and go another way. And the wreck moves, then you start going back the way you normally went to Walmart. Well, that's kind of what they do, because they're going to Walmart. They're going to go eat, or they're going to chase a doe. And so they're going to do what they do. They're just going to do it differently based off of how many streets are closed, how much pressure they have going on. And so that map will help you, but ears, eyes, nose. And if you're going in November, when you go in, you ought to already be able to see primary scrapes underneath the hanging limb. By that time, you're in the peak of the rut. Actually, like I said, you're probably just on the tail end of the beginning of the peak. You know, some does already been bred, and so you're on the tail end of that. But still, that's the reason why rattling is so important. Rattle just before the peak, right after the peak. And the reason you do that is that just before the peak, there's competition. There's not many does in. So when you rattle, that's an infringement. And so you're telling that other buck over there, hey, man, I'm fighting another buck, and who you fighting over? You're fighting over his doe. That's an infringement. But once the peak happens, peak meaning that's when the majority of the does are standing versus running. That's the peak. Why do you want to fight, dude? Man, look here, Kim, you can have that one and that one. I'm going to get them 10 over there. But once the peak happens, so you climb the mountain and you start sliding down. Post rut is a sliding down. The base gets bigger, but you get fewer does in because they've already been bred. Those that didn't get bred will recycle and come in, so there's competition again. So rattling's good before and rattling's good right after, about the time you get there. Now, have you ever rattled in Indiana? Excuse me, Missouri?
Many years ago during bow season.
Hey, now tell me something. What part of Missouri are you on?
Northwest.
Northwest.
Yep, I'm just north of Kansas City.
Let me get my map straight in my eyes. Are you still bordering Iowa there?
No. I'm about an hour and a half south of the Iowa border.
Okay, yeah. So you're south. Are you south of it? Yeah. Because I guess it'd be yeah. You'd have to be in the north quarter. Okay. So great state to hunt in. Good bucks coming out of that state. And man, get you a map. Look it up on Google. Hey, man, literally, you hang the phone up and make a telephone call, and you look at that piece of property tonight. It's crazy. And if you do, send it to us tomorrow, and we'll look at it next week, and we'll revisit. We'll get you back on the line, and we'll bring you up to snuff next week.
That sounds good, Don.
All right, man. Well, listen, we appreciate it, and tell all your friends about the show, Kim, and call us again.
Thank you much.
All right, man. Thanks, sir. Appreciate it. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to try to take some... get caught up on some Facebook questions here. Be right back.
You've worked hard all summer to get everything just right. Don't leave the rest of it to chance. Use the finest deer urine ever collected and the only one in the market that is oxygen-free. From collection to bottle. Get ready. It's time to hunt.
Repel and kill the bugs that bug you most with the all-natural 100% deep-free BioShield.
You've waited your whole life for this moment. Don't spoil your opportunity because of poor preparation. Keep your optics clean and fog-free for a clear shot every time. Fog Zero.
All right, folks, we're back. It is, see here, we're going to try to catch us up on some Facebook questions and stuff. We have thrown in the mix because people are hitting the website. And, folks, let me tell you something. We can tell, and we do appreciate the business, folks. We do. Our website is lighting up, and it's the reason it's lightening up. We've got 21,537 commercials running, and that's 2.5 an hour between the Outdoor Channel, Sportsman's Channel, Pursuit, and Wild TV. So we got a lot of hunters seeing the uniqueness of Top Secret Deer Scent, and they're seeing BioShield, they're seeing Scent Defense, they're seeing Fog Zero. So but a lot of activity on the websites, and we appreciate it. Look, we had an old boy called in today. He was trying to find out if a certain account, even dealers are calling in, because you know dealers hunt too. And if you're sitting out there tonight and you're a dealer and you don't know where to get our product, all the national distributors carry it. But if you're not sure, call us. We can put you through one of the distributors, or we certainly can take you direct if you so choose to do so. So, okay, first question we got. Oh, Kurt, he is from Fredericksburg, Virginia. Beautiful historical place, big Civil War buff. He says, your product sounds great. I was heading in your direction when the state outlawed all the urine-based scent. And Kurt, you're the reason why we talked about what we did in the opening segment of the show tonight. What do you recommend? Do or will you have product that will be legal, as it looks like more states are heading this way? It appears that states are doing that, but you got to look at the states. There has been a huge pushback against this for years in the hunting industry, and the people that started this, Kurt, was up in the provinces of Canada. I think it was Quebec or Manitoba that started this junk and started doing it. And now a lot of places in Canada, the wardens aren't even enforcing the law. Why? Because they have no it's a made-up problem, and so it's a knee-jerk reaction. And but to answer your question is that yes, you will be able to get top secret synthetic. It's oxygen-free from formulation to the bottle. You're going to treat it the same way, and you're going to want to treat it. Very important that it's oxygen-free, because the way that we're doing this to get the effect of the natural scent, you got to do the same way, because if you don't, you're going to lose it. And you'll see what we talk about when you open that bottle. You'll be able to see the difference in the color, and the same thing when you open the bottle, you'll be able to smell the difference in it. And that is available. It's going to be available in Virginia, as it is in Vermont. Actually, it's available everywhere in the country, but it's certainly going to be available for you guys. And that ships actually was available, Shelby, on the 15th, I believe it was. So it's already en route to the stores. But if your local dealer does not have it, Kurt, all you got to do is say, hey man, I need some top secret synthetic. It'll also be available at the Walmart stores throughout Virginia and also in Vermont. And so, but any of you Virginians or Vermontans, what's the right, people who live in Vermont, you can give us a buzz and we'll make sure you get product. Fear not, you will be able to use Attractus, and fear not, you will be able to use Top Secret in both of those states. And call us, hit the website, and we can contact you with a local dealer. And if you're a dealer, we certainly can put you with one of the distributors or take you direct to make sure you got product. 21,537 commercials. That's a lot, folks. Any way you want to break that up, that's a lot. 2.5 an hour, 24/7, 7 days a week. We're telling everybody about Top Secret. It is changing the scent industry, and boy, our website lights up because of it. We can tell them commercials are breaking, and people are seeing it. We appreciate it. All right, let's see here. Lonnie. Lonnie's wanting to know from Jackson, Mississippi. Great place. We do a lot of shows over there for some of our distributors, Ferris Brothers. We do it over there in the... what is that? The Coliseum. It's right there off of, what street is that? That's terrible. Going into the Capitol there, right off of the interstate. Lonnie wants to know, why do bucks eat their own velvet? Velvet is like a protein. It's sort of like a lot of animals will turn around and eat that after birth. A lot of protein in it. And a lot of it, some deer, as they're taking it off, it'll peel down and they'll get it, and they're just stripping it off and you think they're eating it, and some do eat it. And not only do they eat it, but other deer will come along and eat it. So a lot of that has to do with protein. Velvet is nothing more than a scab, which is nothing more than a sponge, like to be able to put blood through, and as it dries up, it's drying up, it gets to itching like a scab. They're breaking it off because it's itching, and it's like a protein to them. But not all bucks do that, some do. All right, let's see, we got a scent defense question, and Kevin is coming from Iowa Falls, Iowa, which is, man, everybody wants to live in Iowa and hunt in Iowa. Iowa's an unbelievable place to hunt deer. Kevin wants to know, is your repellent, now he's talking about scent defense, is your repellent safe for the finish on a gun? And though it has not been treated for that, the answer to that is it should be fine. And the reason for it is because of the stuff that we put in it. Now, I wouldn't go clean my gun with it, but as far as, you spraying it on the outside of the gun, it should not hurt the gun. But like in all guns, every time you go hunting, you need to clean it. Obviously, you're going hunting in the rain. You don't want to put your gun up with moisture in your gun. Right then, next time you're hunting, it's not going to show on you, but down the road, it's going to show on you. So you short run, no, but you want to clean it up after each time you go hunting anyway. And I hope you guys are doing that. That's the life of a gun. It's the life of anything. You put oil in your car and you change oil in your car, you need to clean your gun. As your season is progressing, certainly whether you're firing the gun or not, you're still in the weather. Okay, O'Brien wants to know from, we got a commercial? All right, folks, they're telling me we got a commercial. We'll come back to O'Brien in just 1 second. Be right back.
Introducing Scent Defense, a revolutionary 3-in-1 formula from Top Secret. Infused with antimicrobial silver copper synergy technology to attack odor before it starts. Fortified with NeuroX to attack and repel insects instantly. Scent Defense is specifically formulated to attract deer while simultaneously destroying odor. Scent Defense, the 3-in-1 formula for success.
All right, folks. Hey, look up in the top corner of the thing right there, screen, the 1/10 of 1% Club. Folks, we are proud to have Top Secret. This is Hunting the Rut Hotline. You got questions, we got answers. This is not a Top Secret show. We are proud that Top Secret's 1/10 of 1% Club is our sponsor. And folks, listen, there's 12,000 bottles. We've been telling you about this on a first come, first served basis. It is the best scent, the best urine this industry has ever seen. Every bottle is from an individual deer, no oxygen, 26 ounces. And what people can't say is that bottle, the urine in that big bottle right there doesn't work, because we literally pulled the bucks off of the does. In fact, there's 12,000 bottles of the estrus. It's a $100 bill. It's 26 ounces, comes to like $2.80 an ounce. It is cheaper than if you were to go buy any other product out there, and you know it works because we pulled the bucks off of the does. It is in-process urine. Can't beat that. If you notice, this bottle right here, this is your estrus, that is the buck. Now the difference between the two is that we got 12,000 bottles of the estrus. We only have about 1,100 bottles. That's what we start off with for 12 million deer hunters. So the reason it's called 1/10 of 1%, 12,000 bottles, 12 million deer hunters, 1/10 of 1%. Way less than that on the buck. As you've watched this show before, you'll know that, as I've said many, many, many times, and will continue to do so, if you put a gun to my head, I'm going to use buck urine. If I got one shot to kill a buck, I'm going to use buck urine. Now, I do not want you to take away my estrus. That's death during the peak of the rut. But leading up to and on through the peak, I'm going to put buck urine. That is the bucks that we pulled off of those does. It's a $100 bill. Here's the way you can do it. You can hit the button below you tonight. You can join the 1/10 of 1% Club. You hit the button. You get to be a part of the club. You get to have participate in new product development. You get to do guests on the show. You get discounts after you become a club member on future purchases. There's just all kind of benefits as listed on the show there. You can do this two ways. When you hit the website, you hit the button, it's going to take you to the screen. You got two ways that you can purchase it. You can purchase it, you know what, Don? It is July the 16th. Dang it, I got me $100. I'm going to get me a bottle of estrus. Well, you can hit that button on the left and you can buy it tonight. We'll send it to you whenever you want to. We can send it to you tonight, or you have the choice to say, you know what, I'm not going to Iowa till October, so I don't want mine till October the 31st. We'll ship it to you October 31st, or you may say, you know what, I want it tonight, and I'm not saying this, but you may say, you know, I don't want Mama necessarily know that I'm going to pay $100 for a bottle of deer urine. Well worth it. So you can hit the website, and it'll pay for it over 4 months. So we're in July, so July, August, September, October, and you tell us when you want us to ship it, and we'll ship it to you. $25 a month, pay for it in 4 months. Can't beat it. Secure yours. It is yours. Nobody can take it away from you. As long as you renew every year, it's a club. The only way you can renew, you can't buy into the club. The only way you're a club member is that you buy a bottle. Once you purchased it, each year you repurchase a bottle. No one can take that bottle away. You give it up. It's like buying season tickets at a football game. You give it up, you're going to get to watch Alabama play Auburn on TV. That's just the way it works. So, all right, folks, get yours. Don't get left out. We're going to go back to some questions and answers. Let's see. Can we go back to the one that I was talking about just a few minutes ago? I think it was one before that. No, is that it? Okay. Brian is wanting to know. I don't think that's the same one, is it? But that's good enough. Brian is wanting to know, is your foam product handled any differently than what the liquid is? Is it the same product, only in different form? And the answer is yes, to the lateral. It is the exact same product, only in a different form. Now, why would we have foam versus liquid? People that use liquid in our 3-ounce bottle, the liquid is the traditional way that people hunt scent. This is 3 ounces, retails $14.95, and folks, you know, even though I see this every day and every Thursday night when I put it up on the screen, it's amazing how yellow the urine is, isn't it? That's what oxygen-free looks like, folks, right there. That's not what you're used to. What you're used to is going into the store and seeing this. You're used to going in and seeing brown. Look at the difference. We open this bottle up and put oxygen in it. If you open this bottle up and just open it and close it, and don't pump it out, it's going to turn brown. It's going to look like what you go in the store and buy. This, people traditionally use liquid for scent dispensers. If they're using the cotton balls, they're used to using liquid, therefore, or in drips. The liquid's what you're wanting to do. But if you use foam, then your foam, this is 8 ounces. This is 3 ounces. This is $14.95 for 3 ounces. That right there, give you an example, Code Blue is $12.95 for 1 ounce. Tinks is $9.95, 1 ounce. We're $14.95 for 3 ounces. That's $5 an ounce. It's almost 2.5 times cheaper than Code Blue. So pretty fascinating. Now we have the foam. This is 8 ounces, and it's the same urine, except this comes out in a foam. Now, why would you want it in foam? Foam does a lot of things. It has advantages to it. The deer's not coming to foam any quicker than he's going to come. He's going to come to that the same way. It's the same urine, different application. Foam. The advantage of the foam is that I can literally, once I get away from the truck, this is buck, this is estrus. I literally can take and foam, walk to the stand. I can take foam. There's 300 pumps in that. We're going to knock you in the head for a whole total of $19.95. 300 pumps. That's a value. Never seen oxygen. First time it sees oxygen is when you pump it. Now watch this. We walk through the woods, we get out of the truck, we get out, we got buck, and we've got estrus. So you get out, you walk away from the truck a little bit, you killed your human odor. I'm assuming you've done that. If not, be sure you get you some scent defense. 3-in-1. Not only kills the odor, brand new. You see all the commercials on it. We produce that through Top Secret. It's called Scent Defense. 3-in-1 kills the odor. Repels ticks, mosquitoes, any kind of biting insect, even bed bugs, but at the same time attracts the deer. Kill your human odor. Now, we're out of the truck, we're going in. We got buck and we got estrus. We get out, we walk, we foam. 15, 20 yards, you foam estrus. Buck, just rotate it. 15, 20 steps, estrus, buck. Buck, estrus. Now what you have is you get up, you've got a buck trailing a doe. Now here's the thing about the foam. The foam, you literally can sit up in the tree and see where you foamed it. Have you guys ever, and all of my bow hunters will recognize me saying this, how many times have you put scent up? Because, you know, we hunters, we put the scent up in the tree and we kind of gauge it as a yardage marker, right? And so we put it up and then we get up in the tree and dang if we can see that sucker. You know, no, wait a minute. Was it on that limb or was it on that limb? First of all, you went in dark And so now you're up in the tree trying to figure out where in the world your marker is. Well, the foam is not hard because once you foam it, you literally can get up in the tree and see it on the ground. Big difference. So this, you got 300 pumps, estrus, buck, you got a buck chasing a doe. By the way, when you get up in the tree, and all of you guys that grunt, and you grunt, what did I just say? That is a tending grunt. That, what I just did, told that buck over there behind your stand that another buck's tending a doe. Whose doe? His doe. This is an infringement. That says that there's a buck trailing a doe. When you use the foam and you use buck and you use estrus, now you've got a buck chasing a doe, which is exactly what you just said by grunting. Folks, this is neat as all get out, but by the way, let me tell you, 2 years ago when we introduced it, actually it was the estrus, we killed the new Alabama state record, new #1. I say we, a old boy up in Birmingham killed him. A new Alabama state record, you can go to it and look at him, it's like 191.78, a moose anywhere in America, typical. That wasn't non-typical, that was typical. Kill coming to the estrus. Top Secret's foam, oxygen free, 8 ounces, $19.95, 300 pumps. Get you some, use it with your grunt call, and it'll make a difference for you this year. Fog Zero, we got a question somebody, Vicky asked from Marvia. Is that it? Is that Iowa or Iowa? Okay. Another Iowa question. Vicky's saying, I saw your product advertised for scopes on the hunting channel. We appreciate that, Miss Vicky. That's part of that 21,537 spots. Does the optic treatment also work for eyeglasses? And what is the difference between the glass and mirror spray and the glass and windshield spray? The difference between your optic pen and the 8-ounce spray is sort of like the difference between the urine, the liquid urine, and the foam. Same product, different application. So, Vicky, you could take the mirror spray and put it on your glass outside on the windshield of the car and it'll work. And so why would we have two products? Well, we have products that we sell back in different departments. For instance, let's say you went in a Walmart store or you went into your local sporting goods store and you were looking for something for automobiles. Well, if we only had it in the grocery section of the store for mirrors, then you wouldn't be able to get it. So we have it designed for that market, that department, geared for that purpose. And so same stuff, works great in all those applications. The advantage of the pen, though, for the eyeglasses is great. Throw it in the purse, throw it in the truck, put it in your back pocket, put it in your backpack. It is neat as all get out, folks. We're real proud of that little pen. $12.95 retail, and it just comes apart. Vicky, I don't know if you can see this. This is a pen, and it comes apart. You have the felt tip. Has about 200 usages. Also have your dust brush. It also has your buffing pad on the end of it right there. Plus inside of here you have your micro cloth. All of that for $12.95. The orange is for hunting, obviously. The blue is for optics. If you were to go in the optical department, green, you could go into your department store and you would find the green one in electronics. And of course, you'll find the spray both in grocery and also for automotive. Great product, Vicky, and we appreciate you seeing the commercials. We're always glad to have people see and then comment on the commercials. And so great product, get you some of it. Folks, let's take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
From Don Bell, the founder of Code Blue, comes Top Secret Reserve Doe Estrus, the finest doe estrus ever collected. Top Secret oxygen-free collection process is a complete generation above Code Blue. Our patent-pending collection process means no ammonia and no ammonia smell. At a limited quantity of 12,000 bottles, only 0.1% of hunters will be lucky enough to add Top Secret to their arsenal. Visit TopSecretDeerScent.com today and join the 0.1% club.
All right, folks. Hey, listen, man. You see that sign up there says 0.1% club, limited supply. That's not a sales pitch. We tell our people every year, now look, if you want some, get you some. If you're thinking about getting some, you don't get any, you ain't got any. I couldn't say that again if I wanted to. But the point of the gist of it is, it's limited. One way to find out if it's limited, wait till deer season, try to get you some of it. And then you go, you know what? You seen that commercial, I could have had a V8. Well, I could have had me a bottle of Top Secret Reserve. Think about it. Get you some tonight. Know you can do it over 4 payments. Hit the website, go get you some. Mama, make a great Christmas gift early where they can put some deer on the table and have something for Thanksgiving meal. All right, let's get back to our Facebook questions. We're trying to catch up on some of these, men. They're coming in hot and heavy. Andrew from Daytona, Florida. What is the difference between your tarsal gland product versus bad boy urine? Well, outside of the name itself, which is, and I'm not being cute, I'm being honest, it is buck urine versus tarsal. Now, what you have in the tarsal is the tarsal gland. A lot of people, Andrew, and I don't know if you're originally from Daytona or where you hunt, but most people in the southeast, not so much in the north, but in the southeast, understand, or they call the tarsal, which is on, if this is the leg of the deer, it's located on the inside leg of the deer. And since that tarsal is a tuft of hair, a lot of people call it hocks down here. The correct name for it is a tarsal. And the gland, what it does, it secretes a musk. And the follicles of the hair there, if this is the tuft of hair that comes out off of the leg, like this, then what you have there is a tuft of hair, and it's hollow, and it secretes a musk. The reason it stains dark is that the urine, when a buck's neck swells, as he's going into sheds of velvet, and as he starts going into toward getting ready for the neck to swell, is he's starting to designate those primary scrapes, those secondary scrapes, that now he's going to make a master bedroom underneath an overhanging limb. He'll start urinating over the back legs of his back inside legs of the rear legs. As the urine goes through, and if you've never seen this, we need to get something on screen and show them that. Literally show a video footage of that, Tom, showing a buck doing a rub urination. He'll put his legs together like this, and you literally see him urinate over them, down on his knees. Wouldn't work for humans. The outcome wouldn't be the same. Urinates over them, stains, mixes with the musk, which gives the urine the strong smell. And if you'll notice, the older the buck, the more mature the buck, the darker and longer the stain is on the back legs of a deer, and the stronger smell it is. And although all bucks will do it, it's called rub urination. So, Andrew, what happens is the tarsal, he urinates over the tarsal, the musk secretes, they mix, then the urine and the musk goes down the leg onto the ground, and he continues to urinate in the scrape. Then he'll take his front feet. This year, if you kill a buck, dig down between the hoof, you're going to find sort of like a little waxy type substance. It's called an interdigital gland. It's like your fingerprint. And every buck has that. Those three combinations, when the neck is swollen, with the tarsal, with the interdigital, with the urine, with the neck swollen over the tarsal, with the musk into the scrape, is the way a buck marks his master bedroom. And the whole purpose of it, obviously, is to tell a doe to come in and tell all the bucks to stay out. There is a phenomenal difference in that, Andrew, than just, bucks. And bucks primarily rub urinate only in the fall. Does rub urinate 365 days a year. And a lot of people don't realize that does rub urinate. Well, they do. This is a southern phenomenon. We'll get emails on this. If you take a lady in the South, if she's going to get up and go to Walmart, she's going to get up and put makeup on. Chances are high she's going to get dressed to go out. Well, because she wants to put her best foot forward, right? A doe research shows within the first 30 minutes from a doe stands up in her bedding area, before she leaves that bedding area, she's going to rub urinate. Now why? Because it is a status signal, just like it is with a buck, but it is to other does. And if that doe gets up and urinates, she puts her makeup on, and she comes in contact with another doe, either close to her dominance or more, then they're going to urinate to show status. You know, there's always a status in the wild. There's always a pecking order, whether it's a buck or doe, there's a pecking order. So that happens 365 days a year. But Andrew, a buck's primarily in the fall. The tarsal is very important. The difference between the urine and the tarsal is that the urine is just urine. The tarsal is urine with the tarsal, must put together. Great for primary scrapes, great for even starting a secondary scrape early season to make a mock scrape is what I'm telling you. Great to do that. Easy to do. Just get you a limb, not your foot. Obviously kill your human odor, go in there and rake it out, pour it in. Buck comes along, he thinks it's a scrape. He don't think, no, wait a minute, Don done come in here and put a stick out and drug it open trying to fool my butt. No, he ain't thinking that at all. He's smelling along the trail that he's going, that especially with rub lines that he's put in there, he's thinking another buck's coming in his area and is making scrapes along his rub line, which is pre-rut. Now, if you do it during the peak of the rut or just before the peak, now that's like coming home smelling Old Spice. Takes on a whole thing with it. Either one of them, though, Andrew, get you a grunt with using the tarsal or the bad boy. Both great. But if I had to choose one or the other just in a secondary, I'd go with the tarsal. But as you've heard many times, I'll take buck urine over estrus anytime. All right, we got time for another email. All right, we're going to try to knock us out of email here. The email says, I have heard that hunting a scrape right after a rain is best because the buck or the bucks will want to refreshen the scrape. Is that true? Well, there's a lot of truth in that. Now if you think about that just for a second, how could there be truth in that? Well, you and I, let's see, what does it tell us who asked that question, does it? Okay. But the person who asked the question is just a logical, human, cause and effect question. If you put anything out on the ground and it rains, it's going to dilute it, right? So common sense says if a deer urinates and it rains on it, it's going to dilute it and put it more into the ground, but it's going to be diluted. So if that's the case, deer understand that too. In fact, it is the exact premise of Top Secret. Because when you pour urine out, it starts ammoniating. It starts breaking down, ammoniating, getting stronger, darker, which tells another buck or another doe that, you know what, there was two bucks are walking along there, and hey, John says to Jim, hey, John, what is that over? Oh, man, that's another deer. But ain't no use going over there. She was there last week. She ain't there this week. It's old. Versus pouring the urine out, and clear yellow urine, oxygen-free urine, says the deer's there now. So there's an urgency to go, hey, Bill, I'll be right back. I'm going over here and see her. Or I'm going to go over and kick his butt because he's there now. There's an urgency to go now. So the confrontation is now. So that's the difference between the two. Rain will dilute it, and deer know it. So why do you think they come back and freshen it up? Because if they can't smell it, people ask me all the time. We're going to start doing seminars next week. First one up in Pennsylvania. As we go up there, I guarantee you I'll be asked that question. You know, how much scent do you use? Rule of thumb is if you can smell it good, he can smell it great. Think about it. You smell it good, he can smell it great. Do you need to pour the whole bottle out? No, but we certainly would like you to. You haven't got to do that. Deer urine's expensive. Top Secret's the best this industry's ever seen, and it's a steal at $14.95 for 3 ounces, $5 an ounce. But still, as much as I'd love for you to pour the whole bottle out and go buy you some more, feel free to. It's America. You don't need to. If you can smell it good, he can smell it great. Okay? So rule of thumb is, and listen, the colder it is, the longer it's going to last. Who was it, Kim, that called up in Missouri earlier? It'll last him longer. If he and I today, well, it's hot up there too, in deer season in November when he was talking about hunting, if he poured it out there in November on the same day, the 15th, and I poured it out in Alabama at the same time in South Alabama, it's going to last him longer there than here because it's going to be colder there. The colder, the longer it'll last because it will ammoniate. Heat and oxygen ammoniates urine quicker. The cooler, the longer. But the only time that I put a lot of scent out, guys, is if that old buck, I know he's a nocturnal buck, or I know he's tearing that scrape up, and I know for a fact he's tearing that scrape up, then I'm not going to worry about $14.95 to get me a big old buck. I'm going to load his butt up. I'm going to let him know I'm up in his face. So outside of that, though, you smell it good, he can smell it great. But yes, rain will dilute it, and yes, I would freshen it up after it rains, and I think you'll see other bucks come in and do the same thing. And that will tell him what? If it's rained and he comes along and he smells another buck in his bedroom, dog, don't that tell him it's fresh. I'd do it. In fact, I'd look for that opportunity. Let's see, guys, we got time for, okay, they're telling me I got time for one more. This come off our website with Scent Defense. You know, now listen, if you want Scent Defense 3-in-1, it kills the human odor. That you see, this is the brand new concept out there, and only Top Secret has it. 3-in-1 Scent Defense. Kills the human odor, repels and kills ticks, not just mosquitoes, ticks, mosquitoes, deep free, lasts 8 hours. You got it in the shampoo, you got it in the body wash, and you got it in your traditional sprays. But deer love it. They'll come to it. So this is the website. No, Ross wants to know from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Got another Indiana boy. Who do we have call in from Indiana last week? That was a boy called in from Crane, Indiana. Hunts over there near the Navy base there, which is, you know, odd as you got a Navy base in Crane, Indiana. But such it is. Ross wants to know from Fort Wayne, just curious why there are no retailers to buy scent defense items in Indiana. So in essence, all Ross is he's having a hard time trying to find it up there. How soon will you be carrying these items at retailers in Indiana? Well, actually, Ross, we sell back into Indiana. Cabela's has it. Your Dick's store should have it. Any of your national chains should be having it. They front load at different times. For instance, we've already shipped out to Cabela's. They're front loading those. We'll have end caps at all the Cabela stores. They front load those in as season come ahead of the seasons. But your independent dealer there should also have the product. They may not just have it out yet. Typically, your national accounts will start putting product out first, and what they'll do is the product that they had on back on the shelf, they'll put it out. Then they'll start filling in to fill the what we call a modular set up, and then the dealers start bringing product in August, and most dealers will start bringing in first to middle of August ahead of seasons coming in. Now, having said that, Ross, if you cannot find Scent Defense, you can go to topsecretdeerscent.com, and you can find a nearest dealer near you, or B, you can, if you can't find one, well, first of all, if you go to your local dealer or or one of the national chains, tell them, hey man, I want some of this Scent Defense. I'm seeing this all over commercials on all the networks. I want some of it. I need you to get me some. They'll get you some. That's the reason we run 21,000 commercials, is that good old boys like you, Ross, will go in and say, hey, you know, I want some of this stuff. And I'll assure you, they'll pick the phone up and try to figure out a way to get it. And we're prepared to make sure that they get it. But we sell back to distributors, Ross, which means when you hit our website, not all the dealers we sell in Indiana is on that website. We're only listing the ones that we sell direct. We sell through all kind of distributors across the country. So literally, there could be 10 times that in Indiana that we're just not aware of because we don't even know that the distributor has sold them. So, but fear not, if you want the product and you can't find it, tell your dealers that you want it. They can get it through their distributor or call us. We can set them up direct. Or if you can't find a dealer, all you got to do is hit topsecretdeerscent.com, and scroll down, hit Scent Defense. It'll come up and you certainly can get your stuff now. By the way, everybody, as you're not sure, how do I get to topsecretdeerscent.com? You can do Top Secret there. You can also get to Scent Defense. You can go to fogzero.net, or you can go to bioshield-rx.com. Shelby didn't think I could get that, so she leaned to see. So you can get all these products, folks. We appreciate you listening in. It is Thursday night. Hour goes by quick. They're telling me we're closing this show up. And old Steve-O, he is coming back. He's doing some stuff. We'll tell you about it. We'll see you next Thursday night, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time right here. Hunting the Rut Hotline. You got questions, we're going to have some answers. We're going to talk next Thursday night. We'll see you then.